start in 3, 2, 1, and start. All right, we're gonna start sitting this week because I'm already sitting. So find a position that's comfortable. You get alert, relaxed. We'll do our 3 centering breaths together. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable. Lengthen your spine so you can sit up nice and tall, adjust if you need to. And then let's breathe into the nose. And then long breath out through the mouth. Feel your shoulders sink down. Okay, number 2, let's breathe in. Maybe sit up a little bit taller. Then long breath out. Last deep breath together now. Let's breathe into the nose. Really settle with the breath as you breathe out here. Relax our whole body. Let's start from the top. So we'll start with the crown of your head, down to your forehead, your temples, and then relax your whole face and your jaw. Still breathing, still noticing the breath as you breathe in at your nostrils and as you breathe out through your lips. Down to our necks, noticing how it holds your head up and how it connects to the top of your torso. All right, down through your shoulders and arms. Notice how your arms feel, letting them relax. And then noticing where your hands are. Mine happen to be resting on my knees. Yours can be clasped in your laps, relaxed at your sides, whatever's comfortable. We'll work our way back to our chest as it expands, contracts as we breathe. And then same thing with our belly and our core. Take a moment, notice how it moves, how it oscillates. Top half of our body, let's work our way down to the lower half. So noticing your glutes and your hamstrings as you sit. And then to your quads and your knees. And if you're sitting cross-legged like me, how your calves feel as they touch your feet. And then in turn where your feet touch your mat. And now you just pay attention to your breath. We'll just sit here for about a minute or so, always coming back to the breath. Let's take one last deep breath in and hold it at the top. Hear the singing bowl. release. So let's breathe out and open up our eyes. Hop off my block. Ugh. All right, let's start with our spines. Let's turn counterclockwise. Ooh. Okay, press that right palm into the left knee and twist your spine. Turn your chin towards the left shoulder and look behind you. Twisting a few more degrees as you breathe out. All right, and then let's unwind and come back to center. Let's get the other side, so twisting clockwise. Okay, pressing that right palm into the floor behind you and turning the chin in the opposite direction towards the right shoulder. Okay, one more push, one more twist to the right. And then let's come back to neutral position. And then we'll get our sides like we usually do. Stick both arms and reach up towards the ceiling. Let's start on the right. So I'm putting my right palm on the mat, and then my left arm reaches over my head and body towards the upper right hand corner of the room. Okay, active reach, feel the stretch go all the way down your lat on the left. Hopefully all the way down to your hip. And then let's take the right hand, right arm, and reach it back up towards the ceiling. Oof. Then as you breathe out, let's get the left side. Ooh. All right, take a deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, give me one last reach with that right arm. Active reach, keep going. And then we'll return the left arm back up to the top. And then hands to center. We'll get our inner thighs like we usually do. So bring the soles of the feet together in front of you. Pull the heels in towards your soft tissue, letting the knees drop down. All right, let's lean forward as the knees drop down a few more millimeters. Okay, maybe pulling on your feet to bring you closer, or rather to stretch the inner thighs more. All right, and then round out your back so you can slide your fingertips even further forward, feeling those inner thighs even more. When you sit up, you can bring your knees together. Oof. All right, let's get a neck stretch since we're still sitting. I'm going to sit on my right fingertips, cross-legged, then reaching over my head, pulling my head to the left. And with the hand that you're sitting on, drop that shoulder down to the ground so you can pull the neck from the top and the bottom. All right, then we'll take a few moments to rotate the head back and forth at your own pace. Okay, if there's a tight spot, find it, hold it, or just continue going forward and back, stretching the neck out in all directions, or rather in a span of directions to the left. All right, then let's release the head of the left hand and swap fingertips that we're sitting on so that we can pull on the left shoulder, pulling it down towards the ground as we pull our heads to the right. Okay. Give yourself one last pull the right hand, and then release both fingertips, and we'll stand to get some hamstring action. Oh, okay. Nice wide stance. And turn on this light. There we go. So it's even. All right. So nice wide stance, toes facing forward, legs are straight. Reach both arms up. Okay, really reach for the ceiling with the arm. And then let's swan dive forward, coming down to the ground. And looking through your legs towards the back of the room. If you want to, with the fingertips and hands on the ground, push yourself or push your torso towards the back of the room, if that's an option. Letting the hamstrings open up. And my hamstrings happen to be tight today, so this one's gonna be a little bit longer. All right, let's go for stage 2. So fold your arms, rest your head on your forearms, and then rock side to side. Noticing how each side gets a little more intense as you rock your torso to that side. And I'm still rocking, still letting the hamstrings open up. All right, then let's take that right palm and plant it on the floor. And then we'll rotate our left arm up to the ceiling, opening up our left shoulder and chest. And then just like the stretch where we were rotating our spine, turn the chin in the same direction as your left fingertips towards the ceiling. And then with that arm that's on the ground, actively press into the floor and then rotate. You can open up the chest a little bit more. And then as you breathe out, return the left arm to the ground and switch palms. So left palm is on the floor, right arm reaches up, and continue to relax the hamstring. All right, then let's bring the right arm back down, fingertips return to the floor. And we're back to the hamstring stretch that we started. Okay. Feel free to push yourself side to side, accentuating the stretch on whichever side feels good. Okay, from here we're gonna let's do a hip flexor stretch. So rotate 90 degrees to your left, and then rotate your left foot, and then drop the right knee down to the mat. Okay, bringing the torso up, and then let's rotate the hips forward. You should feel that right hip flexor stretch out. I'm going to go for the pulling it from the top and the bottom option. So raising the right arm. Oof. Every time you breathe out, see if you can rotate that hip a little bit further forward. Let's hold it for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna drop that right arm, relaxing the hip. Okay. Bring my arms and torso back down. Bring the right knee up, and then rotate slowly back to the center. Legs are straight, hamstrings are stretched once again. And then let's get the right side. So rotating to the right, dropping the left knee down, torso comes back up, hip rotates forward, feeling the left hip flexor. Oh. Okay, I'm going to do a 10 count for this side because it feels great, but also not great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ooh, hello, hip flexor. All right, let's bring the arms and torso back down the mat. Bring the left knee up. And let's rotate back to the center. Okay. Legs are straight, holding us up. Let the arms and upper body dangle. Let's do our 10 count to straighten back up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, I'm gonna bring my legs together. Let's do a standing side stretch. So if you want to go feet and legs together, great. If you want to spread them slightly for less balance, or less focusing on balance, I should say, more balance. All right, stand up nice and tall. Bring the arms up. Really reach for the ceiling for a moment here, looking through the hands. And let's do the left side first. So drop the left arm down, kick out the right hip. And then reach with the right arm, turn the chin up toward the ceiling. And then just like a sitting version, active stretch. Once you're in position, continue to reach with that right arm and feel the stretch go all the way down to your hip from your fingertips. Okay, we'll hold it for 3, 2, 1. Bring that left arm back up and then drop the right arm down. Okay, kicking out the left hip. Chin is turned up. We're kicking out the left hip, active stretch. And if you notice, there's a bend at the elbow, and just straighten up that elbow and continue to reach, 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 reach. Ooh. All right. Bring that right arm back up at the top. Bring the hands to heart center. We're going to keep the hands where they are because we're going to rotate the lower half of our body for Malasana. So find a medium stance, maybe slightly wider than hip distance. Toes are faced at about 45 degrees. And keeping the head and chest up, lower yourself down to the mat, down to the earth. Nice and controlled. Okay, you'll definitely feel that many parts of your legs. Okay, I'm going to press on the inside parts of my knees, get a little bit more out of it, see if I can open up my hips. Then we'll relax. See if we can hold this for another 10 to 15 seconds, just settling in. All right, in 3, 2, 1, putting my hands on my knees to support. Oh my goodness. All right, Let's do some static stretching. Let's do shoulders and triceps. So left arm across the top of my chest, pulling the left shoulder. Ooh. Okay. Let's drop the left arm. Let's get the right arm. Let's drop the right arm. You can start with the left tricep stretch. I'm going to take off my hoodie. Ooh. The left arm is behind the head. Pull on the left elbow. Get there myself. Then we're going to do a neck stretch after this. My neck needs it. Ooh. Okay. Swapping. And now we're pulling on the right elbow. Right. Let's bring the right arm back down. And let's grab our left wrist with our right hand behind our back. And then dropping the head over to the right. Okay. I always like to think about it as listening to my right shoulder or trying to touch my right ear to my right shoulder, but feel the left side of your neck stretch out. That's the important part. All right, and then I'm going to tilt my head back and look up. To the head forward. Turning the head back to the starting position, back up top. Okay, taking our time as we swap wrists. So grabbing the right wrist, chicken wing is on the left, dropping the head over to the left. Uh, and then let's look down as we rotate our heads forward. Tilting the head back. Back to the middle. Back up top. Ooh. All right. Let's do a split leg hamstring stretch. Okay, I always try to go top to bottom, back up top. All right, so left leg is out in front, left toes are facing forward, heels are in line. Arms up to start, and then swan dive over the straight left leg. Ooh, where's my block? Good. Drive the right hip towards the left ankle. Ooh. All right, hopefully that left hamstring is starting to feel nice and happy. Let's bend the left knee. Okay, come up. I'm gonna rotate around. So my right leg is out in front. Arms are up top. And let's swan dive over the straight right leg. Ooh. Or just like the other side, we're gonna drive the left hip towards the front ankle. Ooh. Oh my goodness. All right, bend the right knee. Come on up. I don't know about you, recently my legs are tired today, so we'll probably do some not crazy stuff. But let's come to the front of our mats. Let's do the moving options. Stand up nice and tall. Bring the arms up and just reach for the ceiling. Let's do our 2 warm-up swan dives. So swan dive down. Okay, reaching for those toes, reaching for the ground. And that's your flat back. And then as you breathe out, round out your back, and then eyes up, reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. Swan dive down. Very controlled. Up to flat back. Okay, rounding up the back, reaching the ground, reverse swan dive. The hands are at the top. Then we'll start. So we're gonna swan dive down for a 3rd time. Okay, legs are starting to open up even more. Up to flat back, resting the hands on the shins or the knees. And then as you round out the back, plant both palms. Let's step back to plank. Let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Let's hold upward dog for a few moments. And getting on the tops of the feet. And then let's look up and stretch the front of our necks. If you want to let the legs drop down, so it's just a cobra, that's good too. Let's return to plank, adding a push-up here if you'd like. And then to our first downward dog of the day. Okay. Fingers are spread, push the floor away, push the chest towards the feet, and feel your calves, feel the shoulders. All right, let's bicycle the legs at our own pace. If you want to stay in motion and just alternate, that's good. If you want to hold a particular side, also good. Opening up the calves. Staying in control. All right, return both legs to the neutral position. Let's do a sun salutation before we do our crescent pose. So step the feet towards the hands. Once the feet are at the top, reverse swan dive. The hands are at the top. Ooh, say hello to your lower back. Swan dive down. Whether or not it's happy with you. Up to flat back. Okay, exhaling, rounding at the back, planting both palms, stepping back to plank, chaturanga down, upward dog, back to plank, push up here, turning to down dog. Okay, now we're doing our crescent pose sequence. So feet together. Let's do the left side first. So float the left leg into the air. Let's do the knee to nose variation. So see if you can do your knee to your nose. Back up top. One more time. Knee to nose. You don't need to make contact, but if you can, great. Legs back up top. And then let's swing the left leg forward and plant it in front. Then arms and torso come up. Back heel is reaching for the mat. Right hip flexor is really flexing, stretching. Woo. Woo. All right. Hands to heart center. Let's do prayer twist. Right elbow goes into the left knee, hands are stacked. Left elbow is facing the ceiling. All right. And from here, let's return to a crescent pose. Release the right elbow. Arms are back up top. Then exhale, bring the arms and torso down. Plant the palms. Left leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down. Upward dog. Okay, we're going to go plank to a sun salutation. So stepping the feet towards our hands. Reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. Yeah, I like that sound. Breathe. Okay, swan dive down. Up to flat back. Rounding at the back as you breathe out, planting both palms, stepping back to our plank position. And let's chaturanga down to an upward dog. Woo! Back to plank, push up here, and into downward dog, both shoulders cracking. All right, we're holding our downward dog for a moment. All right, get ready to do the right side with the knee to nose variation. So feet together, float the right leg up into the air, and then bring the right knee to the nose. Okay, return the right leg up, knee to nose. Up for a third time, and swing the right leg through and plant it in front. And bring the arms and torso up. Okay. Left leg is straight and strong. Left heel is reaching for the mat. You can feel the left hip flexor. Arms are reaching for the ceiling. While working everything. All right, get ready for the prayer twist on the right. So bring the palms together and transition into prayer twist on the right. Left elbow is gently pressed into the right knee. Definitely feeling that right glute on this side, or I should say the glute on this side. There is no left glute on this side. Anyhow, we're in prayer twist, hands are stacked. Right elbow is facing the ceiling. And we'll exit in 3, 2, 1. Return the arms and torso back up top. And then as you breathe out, swing the arms back down to the mat, plant both palms. Right leg comes back to plank, and we're going to chaturanga down into an upward dog. Back to plank, step the feet towards the hands, and then reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top, swan dive down. Okay, hopefully the ground feels a little bit closer. Up to flat back. And then exhaling, rounding at the back, planting both palms, returning to plank. And then chaturanga down into an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here and into downward dog. And let's do a warrior sequence without the knee to nose variation. So feet together, floating the left heel into the air, swinging the left leg through. And as the arms come up, the back heel comes down. Front knee is tracking over the front ankle for warrior 1. Not letting the elbows flare out, straighten up the arms, reach for the ceiling. And let's transition into warrior 2, arms front and back. And maybe your quads are feeling it. We're going to dip back into a reverse warrior and reach for the back of the room with those left fingertips. Don't put too much weight on that back leg. And then return to warrior 2. And let's do a twisting triangle pose. So straighten up that left leg. Put your left hand on your lumbar spine or your lower back. And with the right arm, reach forward, 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 forward. And when you can reach no more, drop the right hand, the right fingertips or right palm down to the ground. And then the right fingertips, or I'm sorry, left fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Hopefully that left leg is straight for a twisting triangle pose. This is more about the stretching than it is the strength. And we're breathing, stretching. All right, and then let's return the arms and torso back up for warrior two. So bend that left knee, returning into the normal, the usual warrior two. And then let's dip back into reverse warrior. And then back to warrior two. And then let's swing that right arm forward and up for warrior one. And then as your arms and torso come down, the back heel comes up, plant both palms, left leg comes back to plank, and let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Back to plank, step the feet towards the hands, and do a reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. Exhale, swan dive down, up to flat back. Then round out the back, plant both palms, step back to plank, chaturanga down, into an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here, then to down dog. And let's repeat that whole sequence for the right side. So feet together, right leg comes up into the air. And then swing that right leg through and plant it in front and come into warrior one on the right. Okay, back heel is down, shoulders are square, arms are reaching for the ceiling. And then come into warrior two, arms front and back. And breathe. All right, let's dip back into reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Okay, remember we're going to do the twisting triangle pose. So straighten up that right leg. And then reach with the left fingertips, reach forward, forward, forward. We can reach no more. Drop the left arm down. Either left fingertips or left palm is on the floor. If you have a yoga block, I suggest you use it if you need it. Okay, but right arm is reaching up towards the ceiling, looking up as high as we can. We'll hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, returning the arms front and back, bending the right knee, getting low and into warrior two. And then back to reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. And swing that left arm forward and up for warrior one. The arms come down, that back heel comes up, plant both palms. Right leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down into an up dog. Back to plank, push up here, and returning to downward dog. Okay, really push the floor away, feel those calves stretch out. All right. Let's go return to plank. Then slowly lower your whole body onto the floor. And then hands underneath the shoulders. Let's do a cobra. So push the floor away. And legs are on the ground. You should feel the front of your body stretch out. Okay, Okay, active push with the arms and hands. And then turn the chin and look up. Let's get the front of our necks as well. All right, you can return your gaze forward. Let's turn the head to the right and look at our right foot or our right heel. You can drop the left hip towards the mat a little bit more. Okay, we're still pushing the floor away with our palms. Let's rotate to the other side. Looking at the left heel. All right, and then gaze returns forward. Let's lower ourselves back down. Then sit up and come into a child's pose. Okay, taking our time. Just went nonstop for 40 minutes. Good job, us. Let's settle with your breath. Forearms are on the mat. Do a quick recharge before we stretch out for about 15 minutes. All right, let's do a side stretch since we're already in this pose. So let's start with the right. So take that right arm out to the right, stack the left hand over, and feel the left side stretch out. Good. And let's come back to center. Just a moment. Let's get the left side. Okay, so the right is stacked over the left. Going back to center to a neutral child's pose. Settling with the breath once again. All right, let's come forward out of child's pose. Return to a sitting position. Okay, we're gonna do our table to bridge to glutes. But anyhow, we know what to do in table. Prop yourself up, pressing the hips up towards the ceiling, holding yourself up with the palms of your hands and the bottoms of your feet. Okay, active push here. All right, take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, lower yourself back down to the mat. Get off your hands. Lie down on your back. We're going to transition into bridge. So roll onto your shoulders. And then press your hips up towards the ceiling as well. And don't let your knees flare out too far. Really flare out at all. Pretend like you're holding a ball in between your knees. And then push the hips up, feel the glutes and the hamstrings. Don't worry, we'll stretch them out next. And then one vertebra at a time, controlling yourself down until your whole back is on the mat. And just made contact. All right, let's get our glutes. I'm going to start with my right ankle on my left quad or left knee, however you want to think about it. Let's grab the left shin. Okay, begin to feel the right glute stretch out. Okay, we always do 3 breaths, so let's do 3 breaths. So breathe in through the nose and out to the mouth. Breathing in once again. Then a long breath out. All right, one more time for the right glute here. Breathe into the nose. Breathe out the mouth. And then let go of the left shin. Right foot returns to the mat. Left ankle gets into place. And we're grabbing the right shin. Okay. Dropping the head back down to the mat. Beginning to feel the left glute stretch out. And then let's breathe in through the nose and out to the mouth. Number 2, let's breathe in. Long exhale. Breathing into the left glute. Noticing how the stretch gets deeper. Okay, last time here, breathing in. And then last breath out. Ooh. Let's let go of the right side, letting the legs drop down to the mat. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. All right, let's do a supine twist. So grabbing the right knee in towards our chest. Okay, pulling, pulling, pulling. And then grabbing our right knee with our left hand, let's pull the left leg over to the right leg over to the left side of our body. Right arm extends out to the right. Sorry for getting my left to my right here. I definitely feel my spine twisting to the left. I can feel that in my glute a little bit since my right leg is over to the left side of my body. Okay, settling with the breath here. See if you can bring the right knee and the right hand or right arm down to the ground. Twisting. We're still setting with the breath. Enjoying that twist. All right, let's gently return the right leg. Oh, hugging in the left knee. Okay, pull it in. There's a little stretch where your leg meets your hip. And then we'll pull the left leg over to the right. Okay, left arm extends out to the left, and let's twist in the opposite direction. Ugh. Okay, looking towards the left. All right, let's take one last deep breath for this side. So breathe into the nose. Okay, and then breathe out. Relax, get further into that twist. And let's return the left leg back to center. And we're going to sit up for a hamstring stretch. I'm going to start the left leg out, bringing in the right heel towards soft tissue. Foot is flexed, so the toes are facing the ceiling. I'm going to add my block just because I have one. Arms are up top, breathing in. And then exhaling over the straight left leg, keeping the back of the left knee planted. Don't let the knee float up. And, ugh. Very active stretch. Remember, once your hands are in position, whether they're at your shin, your ankle, your foot, your toes, whatever, continue to stretch out the left side, the left leg. Okay, we're definitely going to do each leg individually and then do both legs together. Okay, let's continue to hold this for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the left and switching legs. Oh, so right leg is out. Left heel's in towards the soft tissue. Arms are up top, breathing in. And then exhaling over the straight right leg. Ooh. This side is definitely tighter than the left, but that's okay. Take one deep breath in, and then pull and reach. Stretching at the right side a little bit more. And then we'll release just the right side, but we'll keep the right leg where it's at, adding the left. All right, let's get both legs together. Arms are turned up. And then as you breathe out, reach for your toes. Ugh. Mm. All right. Let's come into our closing sequence. So you can keep the legs where they are. You just lie down on your back. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Let your arms relax at your sides. Relax your legs at the bottom. You can close your eyes. Let's go for 90 seconds today. Let's do a nice long one. I won't say a word. Starting 3, 2, 1. That was about 90 seconds. You can keep your eyes closed. Reach your arms and hands overhead. Point the toes at the bottom. Give them a morning stretch. Whatever that means to you. Whether that's rolling side to side, stretching everything out as you're lying down. Your eyes can still be closed. I'm still going. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Let's roll on to one side, doesn't matter which. And rest your head and face right on your hands. And take a moment for yourself here. Whichever arm is on top, plant that palm on the mat and then leading with the upper shoulder, letting everything else follow. Push yourself up, returning to a cross-legged position. Oh, all right. Sitting up tall. Oh, let's do our 3 audible breaths. So breathe in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. Oh. All right, number 2, let's breathe into the nose and breathe out with some sound. Oh. Last one, let's breathe into the nose and breathe out with some sound. Oh. Our hands to namaste our hearts. You may repeat after me if you'd like. May you have clear and kind intention.
May you have clear and kind intentions.
Let's bring our hands to our foreheads. May you have clear and kind thoughts.
May you have clear and kind thoughts.
Let's bring our hands to our lips. May you have clear and kind communications.
May you have clear and kind communication.
And returning our hands to our hearts. And as always,
And as
he celebrates and honors the light in you. Namaste.
oh,
How's your watch?
yeah. Oh, now I figured out how to undo my
to do my
Whatever.
video.
You are always here.
I was always here. Okay. All right. Thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you, Arisa. As
All right.
always.
Okay. Take care. Have a good Monday. Have a good week.
Ugh.
Okay.